Good morning. Happy Sunday. Hope you all had a great Saturday yesterday. I did. I told you that shirt was going to make me look like a game board, and I may or may not look like a game board. So this may have been not the wisest decision I can't figure out which side I'm on. This may have not been the wisest decision in shirts. I look like somebody slapped me with a really big hand. Welcome to my game of chess. Did you get it? Did you get that? Bad joke? My game of chess? Okay. June 26th. Enough of the bad jokes. Happy Sunday. Where are you going, Bass? You come over here by Mom. Don't be wandering. Come on. Come sit. Sit down, fuzzy pants. All right, June 26th. The Lord's love for the unfaithful Israel. Hosea 2:14 through 23. But then I will hear her back. I will win her. Already messing it up. But then I will win her back once again. I will lead her into the desert and speak tenderly to her there. I will return her vineyards to her and transform the valley of trouble into a gateway of hope. She will give herself to me there, as she did long ago when she was young, when I freed her from her captivity in Egypt. When that day comes, says the Lord, you will call me my husband instead of my master. O Israel, I will wipe the many names of Baal from your lips, and you will never mention them again. On that day I will make a covenant with all the wild animals and birds of the sky, and the animals that scurry along the ground, so they will not harm you. I will remove all weapons of war from the land, all swords and bows, so you can live unafraid in peace and safety. I will make you my wife forever, showing you righteousness and justice, unfailing love and compassion. I will be faithful to you and make you mine, and you will finally know me as the Lord. In that day I will answer, says the Lord. I will answer the sky as it pleads for the clouds, and the sky will answer the earth with rain. Then the earth will answer the thirsty cries of the grain, the grapevine, and the olive trees, and they will in turn answer Jezreel, God plants. God plants. Not God plants. God plants. At that time I will plant a crop of Israelites and raise them for myself. I will show love to those I called not loved, and to those I called not my people I will say, now you are my people, and they will reply, you are our God. Hosea's wife is redeemed. Hosea 3:1 through 5. Then the Lord said to me, go and love your wife again, even though she commits adultery with another lover. This will illustrate the Lord still loves Israel, even though the people have turned to other gods and love to worship them. So I bought her back for 15 pieces of silver and 5 bushels of barley and a measure of wine. Then I said to her, you must live in my house for many days and stop your prostitution. During this time you will not have sexual relations with anyone, not even me. This shows that Israel will go a long time without a king or a prince, without sacrifices, sacred pillars, priests, or even idols. But afterward the people will return and devote themselves to the Lord their God and to David's descendant, their king. In the last day they will tremble in awe of the Lord and of his goodness. The Lord's case against Israel, Hosea 4:1 through 19. Hear the word of the Lord, O people of Israel. The Lord has brought charges against you, saying, there is no faithfulness, no kindness, no knowledge of God in your land. You make vows and break them. You will kill and steal and commit adultery. There is violence everywhere, one murder after another. That is why your land is in mourning, and everyone is wasting away. Even the wild animals and the birds of the sky and the fish of the sea are disappearing. Don't point your finger at someone else and try to pass the blame. My complaint, you priest, is with you. So you will stumble in broad daylight, and your false prophets will fall with you in the night. And I will destroy Israel, your mother. My people are being destroyed because they don't know me. Since you priests refuse to know me, I refuse to recognize you as my priests. Since you have forgotten the laws of your God, I will forget to bless your children. The more priests there are, the more they sin against me. They have exchanged the glory of God for the shame of idols. When the people bring their sin offerings, the priests get fed. So the priests are glad when the people sin. And what the priests do, the people also do. So now I will punish both priests and people for their wicked deeds. They will eat and still be hungry. They will play the prostitute and gain nothing from it, for they have deserted the Lord to worship other gods. Wine has robbed my people of their understanding. They ask a piece of wood for advice. They think a stick can tell them the future. Longing after idols has made them foolish. They have played the prostitute, serving other gods and deserting their God. They offer sacrifices to idols on the mountaintops. They go up into the hills to burn incense, in the pleasant shade of oaks, poplars, and terebinth trees. This is why your daughters turn to prostitution, and your daughters-in-law commit adultery. But why should I punish them for their prostitution and adultery? For your men are doing the same thing, sinning with whores and shrine prostitutes. O foolish people, you refuse to understand, so you will be destroyed. Though you, Israel, are a prostitute, may Judah not be guilty of such things. Do not join in the false worship at Gilgal or Beth-aven, and do not take oaths there in the name of the Lord. Israel is stubborn, like a stubborn heifer. Should the Lord feed her like a lamb in a lush pasture? Leave Israel alone, because she is married to idolatry. When the rulers of Israel finish their drinking, off they go to find some prostitutes. They love shame more than honor, so a mighty wind will sweep them away. Their sacrifices to idols will bring them shame. The failure of Israel's leaders. Hosea 5, 1-15. Hear this, you priests. Pay attention, you leaders of Israel. Listen, you members of the royal family. Judgment has been handed down against you, for you have led the people into a snare by worshiping the idols at Mizpah and Tabor. You have dug a deep pit to trap them at Acacia Grove, but I will settle with you for what you have done. I know what you are like, O Ephraim. You cannot hide yourself from me, O Israel. You have left me as a prostitute leaves her husband. You are utterly defiled. Your deeds won't let you return to your God. You are a prostitute through and through, and you do not know the Lord. The arrogance of Israel testifies against her. Israel and Ephraim will stumble under their load of guilt. Judah, too, will fall with them. When they come with their flocks and herds to offer sacrifices to the Lord, they will not find him, because he has withdrawn from them. They have betrayed the honor of the Lord, bearing children that are not his. Now their false religion will devour them along with their wealth. Sound the alarm in Gibeah, blow the trumpet in Ramah, raise the battle cry in Beth-aven. Lead on into battle, O warriors of Benjamin. One thing is certain, Israel, on your day of punishment you will become a heap of rubble. The leaders of Judah have become like thieves, so I will pour my anger on them like a waterfall. The people of Israel will be crushed and broken by my judgment, because they are determined to worship their idols. I will destroy Israel as a moth consumes wool. I will make Judah as weak as rotten wood. When Israel and Judah saw how sick they were, Israel turned to Assyria, to the great king there, but he could neither help nor cure them. I will be like a lion to Israel, like a strong young lion to Judah. I will tear them to pieces, I will carry them off, and no one will be left to rescue them. Then I will return to my place, until they admit their guilt and turn to me. For as soon as trouble comes, they will earnestly search for me. A call to repentance, Hosea 6, 1-11. Come, let us return to the Lord. He has torn us to pieces, now he will heal us. He has injured us, now he will bandage our wounds. In just a short time he will restore us, so that we may live in his presence. Oh, that we might know him. Let us press on to know him. He will respond to us as surely as the arrival of dawn, or of the coming rains in early spring. O Israel and Judah, what should I do with you? Asks the Lord. For your love vanishes like morning mist, and disappears like the dew in the sunlight. I sent my prophets to cut you to pieces, to slaughter you with my words, with no judgment as inescapable as light. I want you to show love, not offer sacrifices. I want you to know me more than I want burnt offerings. But like Adam, you broke my covenant and betrayed my trust. Gilead is a city of sinners, tracked with footprints of blood. Priests form bands of robbers, waiting in ambush for their victims. They murder travelers along the road to Shechem and practice every kind of sin. Yes, I have seen something horrible in Ephraim and Israel. My people are defiled by prostituting themselves with other gods. O Judah, a harvest of punishment is also waiting for you, though I wanted to restore the fortunes of my people. Israel's love for wickedness, Hosea 7, 1-16. I want to heal Israel, but its sins are too great. Samaria is filled with liars. Thieves are on the inside and bandits on the outside. Its people don't realize that I am watching them. Their sinful deeds are all around them, and I see them all. The people entertain the king with their wickedness, and the princes laugh at their lies. They are all adulterers, always aflame with lust. They are like an oven that is kept hot, while the baker is kneading the dough. On royal holidays, the princes get drunk with wine, carousing with those who mock them. Their hearts are like an oven, blazing with intrigue. Their plot smolders through the night, and in the morning it breaks out like a raging fire, burning like an oven. They consume their leaders. They kill their kings one after another, and no one cries to me for help. The people of Israel mingle with godless foreigners, making themselves as worthless as half-baked cake. Worshipping foreign gods has sapped their strength, but they don't even know it. Their hair is gray, and they don't realize they're old and weak. Their arrogance testifies against them, yet they don't return to the Lord their God or even try to find him. The people of Israel had become silly, witless doves, first calling to Egypt, then flying to Assyria for help. But as they fly about, I will throw my net over them. I will bring them down like a bird from the sky. I will punish them for all the evil they do. What sorrow awaits those who have deserted me? Let them die, for they have rebelled against me. I wanted to redeem them, but they have told lies about me. They do not cry out to me with sincere hearts. Instead, they sit on their couches and wail. They cut themselves, begging foreign gods for grain and new wine. And they turn away from me. I trained them and made them strong. Yet now they plot evil against me. They look everywhere except the Most High. They are useless as a crooked bow. Their leaders will be killed by their enemies because of their insolence towards me. I don't know where I got wicked. Then the people of Egypt will laugh at them. Israel harvests the whirlwind. Hosea 8, 1-14. Sound the alarm. The enemy descends like an eagle on the people of the Lord, for they have broken my covenant and revolted against my law. Now Israel pleads with me, help us, for you are our God. But it is too late. The people of Israel have rejected what is good, and now their enemies will chase after them. The people have appointed kings without my consent, and princes without my approval. By making idols for themselves from their silver and gold, they have brought about their own destruction. O Samaria, I reject this calf, this idol you have made. My fury burns against you. How long will you be incapable of innocence? This calf you worship, O Israel, was crafted by your own hands. It is not God. Therefore, it must be smashed to bits. They have planted the wind and will harvest the whirlwind. The stalks of grain wither and produce nothing to eat. And even if there is any grain, foreigners will eat it. The people of Israel have been swallowed up. They lie among the nations like an old discarded pot, like a wild donkey looking for a mate. They have gone up to Assyria. The people of Israel have sold themselves to many lovers. But though they have sold themselves to many allies, I will now gather them together for judgment. Then they will writhe under the burden of the great king. Israel has built many altars to take away sin, but these very altars become places for sinning. Even though I gave them all my laws, they act as if those laws don't apply to them. The people love to offer sacrifices to me, feasting on the meat, but I do not accept their sacrifices. I will hold my people accountable for their sins, and I will punish them. They will return to Egypt. Israel has forgotten its maker and built great palaces, and Judah has fortified its cities. Therefore, I will send down fire on their cities and will burn up their fortresses. Okay. I know I just trimmed them before vacation. And look. This is what happens. Now I can't figure out which way to... There we go. The picture's backwards and it confuses me. That's what taking collagen every single day does. I drink collagen every single day and I put it in a lot of my food. And that's what it does. It makes your hair grow like a maniac. I mean, look how long it is. I was looking at pictures from a year ago and it was like chin length. It's crazy. All right. Let's do... Day 54. I didn't change the date. There we go. Day 54. All right. I'm probably going to read 2 sections today because one is just tiny. All right. I'm That Girl from Pearl Barrett and Serena Allison. I am on the chapter titled Not So Voodoo on page 179 in the section called Sound Moves and Creates. Before it was known that all matter vibrates, it was first learned that sound vibrates. The science that focuses on the study of sound vibration began in the 16th century and is called cymatics. Cymatics, from the Greek word chyma, which means wave. Maybe it's kymatics. I think it's kymatics. It starts with a C, but the Greek word starts with a K. So I don't know if it's cymatics. We're going to call it kymatics. In the 18th century, Ernst, he has a lot of consonants in his name, Chladni, a German, we're just going to call him Ernst, a German musician and scientist who became known as the father of acoustics, brought pictures to life through sound with a very simple demonstration. He drew his violin bow around the edge of a plate that was covered with a fine sand, and the sand formed different geometric patterns depending on the sound he made. Dr. Hans Jenny, a medical doctor and scientist, was the pioneer in this field in the 1900s, and his work revealed actual pictures that sound make through vibrations. Dr. Jenny made invisible sound shockingly visible to the eye. Using a bit of more technology than the simple violin bow, Dr. Ernst Chladni, Jenny placed sand, fluid, and powders on metal plates. He then vibrated them with special frequency generators and a speaker, and intricate, beautiful patterns formed that were different for each individual vibration. These pictures only remained visible as long as the sound pulsed through the sand and powders and collapsed when the sound was stopped. Okay. This is the same section. So here's the pictures. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to hold it up for a second. Intricate pictures of visible sound producing form. This is the different patterns that were displayed based on the sound that they were making. And they've all got a different number assigned to them. If simple notes can create such beautiful and intricate imagery through vibrations on a subatomic level, imagine the powerful subatomic vibrations that formed when God said, "Let there be light." It just gave me goosebumps. Look at some of the other descriptions of the power of God's voice in His Word. Psalm 68:33. To him who rides upon the highest heavens, which are from ancient times, behold, he speaks forth with his voice, a mighty voice. Psalm 29:3-9 says, the voice of the Lord is upon the waters. The God of glory thunders. The Lord is over many waters. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is majestic. The voice of the Lord breaks cedars. Yes, the Lord breaks in pieces the cedars of Lebanon. He makes Lebanon skip like a calf, and Sirion like a young wild ox. The voice of the Lord hews out flames of fire. The voice of the Lord shakes the wilderness. The Lord shakes the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of the Lord makes the deer and calve and strips the forest bare. And in the temple, everything says, glory. Don't tell us subatomic activity isn't being commanded in major ways in these sorts of verses. You betcha atoms shake and come under his authority at the sound of his words. Psalm 46:6. The nations made an uproar. The kingdoms tottered. He raised his voice and the earth melted. Ezekiel 43:2. And behold, the glory of God of Israel was coming from the way of the east, and his voice was like the sound of many waters, and the earth shone with his glory. I'm telling ya, I have goosebumps. Serious goosebumps. Hi, Becky. Welcome. As I was reading this, you know what I was thinking? I hope someday in heaven that I think we're going to get to experience lots of cool things in heaven. I think a lot of our time will be spent in worship, but I also think, I don't know. Listen, I don't know. How would I know? I'm making this stuff up as I go. But I also think that there will be times in heaven of doing things that, when the new earth and all that stuff, that's the scientific explanation. When all that stuff happens, we're going to be farmers and, all that stuff. So I often wonder, Will we get to see history played out? Like, here's what I want. I know the Lord is listening. This is what I want. I want movie night in heaven, okay? I want my little bowl of popcorn, or my big bowl of popcorn, because I ain't going to get fat in heaven. I can eat as much popcorn as I want. I want my vat of buttered popcorn, and I want movie night on the sky. You know, what's that 3D movie called? What do they call that? The IMAX. I want heaven's IMAX, okay? Well, I'm eating my giant vat of buttered popcorn that has maybe M&Ms sprinkled in it, because they don't make me fat in heaven. I want to see on the heavens a replay of creation. Like, how cool. Will we get to see this stuff replayed? I hope so. That's what I envision heaven like. Eating popcorn, watching history. We binge watch the creation of Earth for 7 days straight. Heaven's Netflix. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining me this morning. Happy Sunday. I hope you all have a blessed Sunday. Get to spend some time with family. We are traveling to see family. I hit my next goal weight, going to the doctor tomorrow. I hope she... Mallory, good for you. 25 pounds. Listen, she will notice. And if she doesn't say anything, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go get a few bricks that weigh a total of 25 pounds and put them in your purse. And if she don't mention it as she's about to leave the room, say, hey, doc, I would just like to know, can you please pick this up? And when she picks it up and is like, what is in here? You can be like, that's how much weight I lost. And then she will congratulate you. That's amazing. 25 pounds is amazing, Mallory. That is a lot of weight. Go lift something that's 25 pounds today. I want you to go pick something up and be like, I was carrying that around. When I lost 50, when I hit 50 pounds, I went into the dog pet store. I had to get some things anyway. It wasn't just for this purpose, because that would have been a little weird. But I went into the pet store and I found a bag, 50-pound bag of dog food. And I lifted it up and I had my husband take a picture. And I could not believe that I had been carrying around that 50-pound bag. I was blown away when I lifted it with my arms. So go pick something up that's 25 pounds today and be like, I did that. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you, Mallory. I'm so proud of you. Yes, go find a 25-pound bag today and lift it up. Take a picture holding it. You won't regret it, okay? You won't regret it. Okay, guys, I love you all. Have a blessed day today. Stay on plan. We ain't going off plan on Sunday. Even if you're going to a church potluck. I know some of you have church potlucks today. A lot of times in the summer, there's barbecues after church. There's snacks. One faith on here goes to Munch and Mingle, which I think is the most hilarious name for a get-together after church. Munch and Mingle. Find an on-plan option. And if there's no on-plan option, you'll be all right till you get home. You won't die. You won't die if you don't eat Bertha's chocolate chip cookies, okay? There's probably an on-plan option. And if there isn't, maybe you should think about it before you head to church and bring something on plan with you. And you won't regret it. When it's over, you'll be like, that was easy. I stayed on plan. I rocked it. Okay, guys. I love you. Have a great day. I'll see you back tomorrow morning for more devotions and hopefully breakfast tomorrow morning. I love you all. Bye.